Imagine a man who once commanded stages with raw dancehall fire, crowds chanting his name under flashing lights. Then picture the same man years later, fighting silently in a hospital bed, unable to speak or walk, while his wife holds his hand and whispers prayers. That's the powerful, heartbreaking, and ultimately hopeful story of Lieutenant Stitchie, Cleveland Laing, one of Jamaica's most respected voices. In 2026, as he continues his long road to recovery from a devastating 2024 brain hemorrhage, his journey feels more inspiring than ever. From wild dancehall fame to a life-changing conversion, and now a quiet battle for every small victory. Stitchie's story is one of dramatic before and after moments that show how life can flip in an instant. And through it all, his wife Sophia Laing and their children have been his rock. Let's go back to the beginning, the before. Born Cleveland Laing on September 29, 1965, in Spanish Town, Stitchie grew up surrounded by music. In the 1980s and early 1990s, he exploded onto the dancehall scene as Lieutenant Stitchie. With his sharp lyrics, quick delivery, and energetic style, he stood alongside legends like Yellow Man, Papa San, and Admiral Bailey. Hits like Where You Size, Great Ambition, and Nowhere No Better Than Yard made him a household name. He was the ultimate party DJ, flashy clothes, high-energy performances, and a voice that could light up any sound system clash. Money was flowing, crowds were huge, and the lifestyle was fast and exciting. Stitchie lived the dancehall dream to the fullest. But in August 1997, everything changed in a split second. While driving to perform at Reggae Sumfest in Montego Bay, he was in a serious car crash. The injuries were painful, but he pushed through and still performed that night. Afterwards, a young Canadian boy handed him a Gideon Bible in his hotel room. That night, alone and hurting, Stitchie opened the Bible and read it for the first time. What happened next shocked the entire Jamaican music world. He gave his life to Christ right there. When he returned home, he announced he was leaving secular dancehall behind. Many people thought he was crazy. How could the wild Lieutenant Stitchie become a gospel artist? But he did. He shortened his name to Stitchie, started singing about faith, and released gospel reggae albums that touched hearts in a completely new way. The after had begun. He became a pastor and used his platform to spread messages of hope and redemption instead of party anthems. This new chapter brought stability and deep purpose. Stitchie married his wife, Sophia Laing, and together they built a strong, loving family. Sophia has always been his quiet strength, supportive through the highs of fame and the lows of career changes. They have children, including a daughter named Candace, who was a teenager during his health struggles. The family stayed close and private, focusing on faith, music ministry, and raising their kids away from the spotlight. Stitchie often spoke about how his wife and children grounded him. Even as a gospel artist, he remained respected across both dancehall and gospel circles, a true bridge between worlds. Then came the moment no one saw coming. In August 2024, Stitchie suffered a massive brain hemorrhage. It was sudden and severe. He was rushed to hospital and fell into a coma. Doctors performed emergency surgery, but things got even scarier. For a time, he was declared brain dead and placed on life support. The family was told to prepare for the worst. Sophia Laing and their children stayed by his side, praying non-stop. News spread quickly, and the Jamaican music community rallied. Artists like Bounty Killer, Shaggy, Papa San, and Richie Stephens donated money and sent support. A GoFundMe was launched, and gospel events raised funds for his care. Fake death rumors even circulated online, forcing Sophia to publicly confirm he was still fighting. Miraculously, Stitchie survived. He was moved to a long-term care facility and began the slow, painful journey of rehabilitation. By early 2025, small signs of progress appeared. He started responding to voices with sounds and could squeeze hands. Sophia has shared emotional updates throughout 2025 and into 2026. In late 2025, she told supporters during UK fundraisers that he can now balance better in his wheelchair and communicates through eye movements and sounds. He still cannot speak or walk independently, but he is still here with us, as Sophia often says. The family moved him to another facility for better therapy, and daily sessions continue. Medical costs are enormous, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. But the love from fans and fellow artists has kept hope alive. Today, in 2026, Lieutenant Stitchie's story is one of quiet courage. The man who once commanded thousands with his voice now fights for every small victory in silence. Sophia Laing has been incredible, protecting the family from scammers who tried to set up fake fundraisers, organizing benefit events, and keeping supporters updated with grace and faith. Their children, including Candace, have stayed strong beside their mother, shielding themselves from negative rumors while believing for their father's full recovery. Stitchie's journey has three powerful chapters: the wild dancehall king, the transformed gospel pastor, and now the fighter in recovery. Each phase shows his unbreakable spirit. From stage lights to hospital lights, from fast life to faith-filled life, and now from coma to cautious hope. He has shown that real strength comes when everything else is stripped away. The music community continues to rally. Benefit tours in the UK and donations keep coming in. Sophia often says they are trusting God for the next miracle, the day Stitchie sits up and speaks again. Until then, the family holds on to the small wins: a hand squeeze, a responsive sound, a better day in therapy. Lieutenant Stitchie's story reminds us that life can change in a heartbeat, sometimes literally, but it also shows that faith, family, and love can carry you through the darkest nights. Sophia, the children, and the thousands of fans praying for him prove one thing: the lieutenant may be quiet right now, but his legacy is still speaking loud and clear. The world boss may have the spotlight in dancehall, but Stitchie's battle has touched hearts across generations. As 2026 continues, the prayers keep rising. One day soon, we hope to hear that familiar voice again, not just in old recordings, but in person, testifying to the power of survival. Stitchie is still here, and as long as he's fighting, the whole Jamaica music family is fighting with him.